everything in moderation, including moderation. Oh, I think there's a kindred spirit. You know, they've been following me. Well, I'm a local cycling influencer, aren't I? So they've obviously been. Someone's been. Maybe Danny McCaskill fucking sat here. That was good. I was in a Cup Media production, wasn't it? That was fucking good. That started the film thing off. Film, what does he think he's Brad Pitt? You want to hear about my experience? I've already talked about my experiences, but again, I've only scratched the mole fucking surface, yeah. What I was thinking was, you know, since I'm a free man, this is my life, it's not for sale, I won't be a fool of the school for me. I've already done that one, and that's not even my own words, but the actors in the television, right? They have to spell this out. I think you get this, right? Yeah, I think you fucking get this. Woo! You're still with me. Whoever watches this shit, you're still with me. And that's a fucking glorious thing to celebrate on this day. That's all I need. I didn't even need anybody, but it's good to have I think the fact that I've had a small audience, you know, because I think it's relative, innit? It's relative. I did achieve the shit. And I've talked about my stories. And fuck the stories, I've even created content. So, you know, you got to be that man. Didn't you just talk? I've actually been that man, the best motivational speaker in the history of Dumfries. But what I was thinking was, because, you know, you try it, that's the thing, innit? You try it, well, you fucking try it then. You try it, and then maybe you'd realise why I'm this way, because it's about keeping the energy level high, yeah, without drugs. But I think because I've been that man that's done it on zero drugs, I think that affords me, or gives me, nothing gives me, I'll decide. But I think I'll go through a wee period where, why not? Why not? Fucking try it out. I'm a scientist conducting experiments. Yeah. 10,000 mile a year for the past fucking don't know how many years on zero drugs. So I think flowery adjective, classic literature. You know, I think Stuart Patterson liked one of my things. See, I could talk about 1,000 million different glorious things. Woo, yeah, yeah. Oh, was this Studio A, Studio B, whatever. Yeah, it's all good, yeah. Stuart Patterson liked one of my things once when I said, oh, glorious poetic, right? I created some glorious poetry and that. Like I was saying about David Miller when I was saying, oh, he didn't quit art college he didn't give up art to do cycling. Cycling was his art. Did that speak to getting out the box? Because cycling is art. All art is the same shit. It's all the same shit, yeah. Because you're painting, it's really quite a creative endeavour, as I've said before. Cycling is really quite a creative endeavour. It's very creative, and I could go into that, but I don't think I could explain really how. You know, it's tacit knowledge. It's beyond words. It's beyond beyond words. And I think that speaks to some of the experiences I've had in my life. They're beyond words. But you try and break it down. Like I said, I went to the moon multiple times as Buzz Aldrin and came back with my multiple stories. And then was gaslit. That's poetry. I could pluck that and put that on my Strava. Tease them. Hey. Local people, why he's not getting behind the top YouTuber in the town? Why the fuck in the history of Dumfries, not just the town? I mean, there's other folk doing cool stuff, but I'll decide if I'm the best YouTuber in the history of Dumfries because I've done stuff in all different genres and still kept the heat. Oh, that's really quite cool, isn't it? I think that speaks to the kind of going out into space, you know, with your wee drug experimentations and coming back and reporting on it. That's what all the great writers did, you know. And I still kept the heed, yeah, and I didn't have a drug habit apart from this, which is it's all very well, you know, it's all good. But one of the things I was thinking was, right, one of the things I was thinking was, I think it'd be an interesting that what you could do is, right, and some of you might relate this to your life in terms of, we're not defined. I don't see myself defined. I don't care about what other folk think of me. But it's an interesting thing. Historical Dave, right, would have cared about. Isn't it interesting as a wee sidebar here? Isn't it funny how I talk about myself in the second person or whatever? Does that speak to the multiple out-of-body experiences I've had? You know, because I don't really view myself. It's not really me that did it. That's what people say in it when all these amazing experiences. Didn't really feel like me doing it. There's some greater power that, you know, if you connect with a bigger power source than yourself, you can do anything. Oh, nah, calm it down. I decide if I want to calm it down or no, you know. But you know what I mean? Faith without works is dead. I think I've proven multiple occasions that you've got to have a kind of vision. You've got to have faith in what you're doing, belief in what you're doing. And, you know, it's funny. It's like the kind of like catch-22. You want to do something, you're not quite there. It's like Sartre talked about that, you know, how'd you get there without, you're trying to bridge a gap. But I think I did. Is if I can just quote Thingaby in Deliverance when he's like, it's only when you lose yourself that you find yourself, something like that, you know. You lose yourself getting bum raped in the woods, yeah. But if I could just quote David Icke, sometimes if you live life through the heart, and you know, sometimes you're going to get into wee scrapes here and there, but you come out of it in the end all good as a better man. I think I've proven that, so that's quite good, isn't it? But what I was thinking was in terms of the whole building yourself up theme, which is exactly what I've been doing, right? For a greater purpose, even if that purpose is just, you know, me trying to reach for something bigger. I've done that loads of times. If you reach for the hair, you might end up for the hair, right? So what I thought was it'd be an interesting thing to, again, not that I care what folk think anymore, right? I don't care because I'm on Planet Dave, so fuck them all, you know. Anyone that wants to vibe with it, fine. If you didn't want to, I don't care. Look to Andrew Tate for bullshit, false horseshit information coming from a half-baked man with big muscles, right? My leg muscles, I've got better cardio than him. Andrew Tate, I've got better cardio than you. What do you think about that? So if I met him in real life, it'd be like one of these. See, he's no served the pine and the Chalamet, has he? Yeah, he's not quite the full shilling. But you know, if I could just quote myself, I served that. I think that's why I got there, because I'm that big man, you know. I didn't just like. Some of what he says is true. Anyway, back to the point about like you could have a graph or a bar chart. No, just a list. Good versus evil, or bad versus good. Positives versus negatives. All the people that have ever in your life, all the positive, encouraging things that they've said to you, and see if you were to write them down, you'd be blown away by it. You go, fucking, I'm not going to do that now, but I think I could off the top of my head. The number of folk, again, getting out into the world and adventuring, the number of fucking amazing things people have said to me to encourage me. They've actually seen my efforts, seen my abilities, and I'm not going to like blow my own trumpet by talking about them. I know about them, but I think Church of Dave, I'm not preaching to anybody else. I'm just as for myself. Anyone wants to relate to this, they can, because it's a negative world out there, right? So you hold on to that, and sometimes in my hour of need, in my darkest hour, you can do that, and you can go, well, sometimes, these people have actually built me up. These folk, look at all the negative, and it's kind of then when you compare it, you can actually laugh. And you go, Jesus, does that speak to the tendency in human beings to focus on the negative? Because it's in the DNA, because we're survival mechanism, instinct that's deeply ingrained in us because of the hunter-gatherer and the schisms and all the conflicts and throughout the centuries and all the rest of it. It's all deeply embedded in the DNA, isn't it? And is it innate or is it to do with the experience? You know, that kind of thing. But you go, so we have a tendency to look on the negative, look for threats, but doing something great, if you try, or at least aim for excellence, aim for greatness, you might get excellence, right? If you know, in the doing of that, you realise just how not a dangerous environment the world is now. We're still wired that way, aren't we? We're wired for threats. Oh, there's a fucking lion, like that Molly on the thing when she's live on the Facebook and she's in the woods and she didn't feel very good. But if you just gone into Nits Hill, or just gone into the woods, or do a little bit of, to quote Deliverance, just a little bit of experience, just a little bit of life experience to put things into perspective, you know. So that's what I'm saying about, we have a tendency to look on the negatives, but just a little bit of experience in the environment, you realise how fucking safe the environment, like one of these writers that was doing that book he was talking about, is that, what's that dude? Academic dude. that wrote that book. Oh, what's on the tip of my... That dude with a... But he's talking about that all the studies that have shown, despite the fact that capitalism and the environment is actually, technically, you look at the evidence, right, it's fucking safe as fuck. I mean, I'm sitting here, I've no fear for anything. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm like waiting for some... This is cool, we get to talk to somebody. Most 99% of folk are fucking great, you know? You know, so bringing that back to the point I was saying there about when you're feeling a bit low and you're feeling a bit... look at all the positive things, because and the tendency of an advancing man, a man trying to get better at what he's doing and try to improve himself, right? The tendency is to be hard on yourself because you look at the negative. Again, that speaks to the DNA, and you're looking at all the negatives, but you don't actually take time out and celebrate. I think that's what I've been fucking doing. Appreciate all the things that folk have said, and even just forget what folk have said. What you've seen positively. And you go, well, I think that just makes all the bullshit pale into insignificance, isn't it? If I could just quote Slipknot, Ken, I fuck all that bullshit. I separate myself from the rest, to quote Sepultura. Oh, what the fuck do you expect? Straight, hey. I ask myself why I'm so hateful. Maybe it's part of my nature. People say I'm fucked in my mind. It feels like there's nothing left to try. Well, yeah. Oh, there's lots to try. And jobbies and plane in the sky. Nice day and poo.